Hi, and welcome to the Special Education Itinerant Academy info session. I just want to give you a quick overview of the Academy in case you haven't heard of us and wanted to know a little bit more about it. So let me walk you through this. So again, my name is Dr. Kate Aceta. I'm an assistant professor of early childhood special education at the University of South Carolina. And I did my PhD at the University of Oregon, go Ducks. And I've been worked in a variety of settings, some Head Starts, early childhood special education in a therapeutic nursery, as well as I was actually an itinerant teacher for about 2 years as well. My research interests are around the development and assessment of evidence-based practices in early childhood settings, both general and special education. I currently coordinate the early childhood special education program at USC. So itinerant services, what are they? Maybe your district already uses them. Maybe you don't use them yet. So let me just do a quick overview, and then we're going to get into what the workshop, the academy actually is, the sort of nuts and bolts. You notice I'm pivoting between two screens. So just thank you for your patience as I pivot between two. So what is the itinerant? Well, an itinerant provides special education services to children, typically ages 3 to 5. However, it can be birth all the way up to 21. When I was an itinerant, I actually provided itinerant services to a 13-year-old boy or young man, I guess at that point, who was in a Catholic school, and I provided a pull-out service as a resource room teacher because he was attending a private school that did not have a special educator associated with it. So it can really provide a wide range. They provide indirect or consultative services. That's like sort of the big piece there, meaning that they are working in consultation with the community-based setting. And we'll talk more about that. They're going to work collaboratively with service providers as well as family members in order to coordinate services. We're going to encourage children's development of self-regulation as well as other pre-academic skills. They're, of course, going to do all that fun paperwork like IEPs, progress monitoring, all that good jazz as well, even in a community-based setting. So what does that actually look like? So we have the SEIT, Special Education Itinerant Teacher. It's going to be delivered typically in the community. This could be Fuzzy Bear Daycare. It could be the basement of a Baptist church. It could be in a public 4K. There's lots of ways for this to look. Then there's the classroom teacher or teachers. That classroom where that child is typically during the day, they are going to be the primary interventionist. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more in the next slide. And then there's the special education teacher or the itinerant. They're going to be providing those services in a consultative method. And we'll talk about that again in a little bit more in the next slide. Or itinerant service could also be in the home. Remember, we want to be focused on least restrictive environment. And of note, least restrictive environment for young children is the home. The home is a totally appropriate and culturally responsive place to send or provide services for young children with developmental delays or disabilities. And here the triad would be between the parent, the child, and the special education teacher or the itinerant teacher. So community-based placement, again, you'll notice here there's a triad here. So the two larger figures at the top are the adults. This is going to be the itinerant teacher and then the classroom teacher. In consultation or indirect service provision, we're going to work closely as the itinerant with the classroom teachers. They are the drivers of the intervention. They are the implementers, instead of being the direct service provider. Because one of the big things that comes up in the academy every year, and this is our third cohort, so we're excited, is what does this look like? How can you provide the same level of services or the same number of hours of service if they're not in a self-contained class? That's a great question. Well, if Maria is in Fuzzy Bear Daycare from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., that's probably longer than her 3DD or 4DD class would be. And so more hours. And they are with that other adult, that classroom teacher, who can and should be providing those interventions or services, addressing those IEP goals. How do they do that? With the support, the consultation, and coaching of the itinerant teacher. And you're like, well, how would you do that? Like, what does that even look like? I got you. Don't worry. That's where the academy comes in. Because let's be honest, as an early childhood special educator myself, I didn't get training when I was an itinerant. I was literally hired by an agency and told to go itinerant. That doesn't work great because it is very different than being a classroom teacher. You are not providing direct services. You're providing indirect consultative services. You are coaching and consulting with the classroom staff. They are the drivers of change. So we need training in that. And that's where this academy came in. So in consultation with SEIC and Skippy, we are promoting inclusion in early childhood centers. This is coming out of both the state's need assessments, which sort of gave way to the federal professional development grant for 0 to 5. Or preschool development grant, pardon. I've only been working on it for 3 years. We are very, very grateful. This work is also going to be continued and supported by the Office of Special Education. Thank you for that, your vote of support and confidence as we continue to move forward. So we've been really working closely with the Department of Education in order to recruit and work with districts who might be interested in this. So what is the Academy? It is 3 courses, and I use the term lightly. They really are workshops to prepare early childhood special educators and administrators. This is a key piece here to design and implement an itinerant delivery program within their district. And this is part of their continuum of services for young children who are receiving special education. And you'll note here, we're not talking about just speech only, really the range of kids, the range of developmental need here can be provided and have their services delivered in a community-based setting. That is our aim, to increase inclusion and opportunity for young children with developmental delays and disabilities into the community. So who's expected to participate? Who is your team? Well, at least 2 people. We say max of 5, but truth is we've had teams of up to 7 and 8. What we do definitely need is at least 1 administrator. Why? Because the onus should not fall on the early childhood special education teacher, the itinerant or a classroom teacher, to be the change agent within a district. We need administrative support so that when we talk about budgets and barriers and things of that nature, we have someone who can really make that change happen. So administrator needs to be not just on the team, but actively participating and coming to the workshops. Early childhood special education teacher, minimum of 2, knowing that feel free to please add more. We've had SLPs, school psychologists, behavior support specialists, OTs, whoever really would be a part of your ECSE evaluation and placement team. To think about who those people would be and bring them on. Again, we have 3 4-week workshops. They begin May 1st. You have access to CEUs, more details on that to come. The first one is on introduction and instruction in the community classroom, how to think about and design instruction in a community-based setting through coaching and consultation. The second is around the social emotional development and the implementation and use of pyramid model practices. The third workshop in July is related to partnerships around coaching and consultation. This is a great one. I think this is one of my favorites, to be honest with you. It's where we really start to think about the actual plan and what this would look like in your specific district, and getting to how do you coach and consult in an itinerant model. That can be some of the most difficult parts. What does this actually look like? What's the format? Well, we're going to meet. There's weekly asynchronous content. There's mini pre-recorded PowerPoints, videos from additional evidence-based resources, as well as readings. Then we're going to meet virtually once a week for 1 hour. I'm going to let that soak in. We're going to meet once a week for 12 weeks for 1 hour. Make sure that your team can commit to those weeks. This is really, really important because we want to make sure that when you're there for that 1 hour, it is your opportunity to not hear from me as a lecture, but we're going to spend a lot of time breaking up into district teams, and you will be talking and reflecting on the topics of the week as a team. This is critical. So we want to make sure that whoever is your team members, you're going to be able to come to those meetings because those are really important. You'll receive books and materials that you'll be able to keep all as part of that. As well as, and I don't have this on here, but I should probably add this on here. We just hired a coach. Tanya is absolutely outstanding. She will be providing ongoing technical assistance and support. Once you've gone through the academy, you'll meet her in the workshops, and she and I will be providing technical assistance. She'll be the go-to person. She'll be working with you during the regular academic year to provide as much support as you need to either start an itinerant model, continue your itinerant model, provide coaching to your itinerants, consultation, whatever you need. She's the one to do it. So that's part of it. Go through the 12 weeks. Yay. Now we start the coaching consultation, our technical assistance with our newly hired SEIT coach. Here's the dates. You might want to screenshot this. May to May 26th, June 5th to the 30th. You'll note we're off for Memorial Day, and then we're off again for 4th of July. So we run a little bit into August 4th, but truthfully, we'll probably meet on Wednesdays again in the morning. That typically works well for most people. So again, your team must commit to participating in all 3 workshops, not just May, not just July, but all 3. So what do you need to do? What's next? You're feeling excited. You want to be a part of this. I want you to be a part of this. So come on over. What do you need to do? You're ready to sign up for cohort. We've already had 11 districts. So are you going to push us over and make us 20? I hope so. Come on over. We've got right here the website. So that you can sign up and complete the registration form. Applications are due March 13th. Get that in. Talk to your team. All right. If you have questions, you email our fabulous program manager, our project manager rather, Nicole Randall. Outstanding. She'll answer any question that you have. Remember, only one district team member needs to fill out an application. You're just going to make sure that, and if you're selected, you'll have, everybody will get a registration form for your team. If you have any questions, you let me know. Email me, email Nicole, and I look forward to having you. I hope that you come and join us, and you get to be teams number 12 through whatever. So welcome aboard. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Let us know if you have any questions. Again, applications due March 13th. Thanks again. Bye-bye.